question here is, what are the legal liabilities of being a volunteer committee member? Section 101 in the question is about committee members being not legally responsible for the work that they do as a committee member in the body corporate, as long as they are doing that work without negligence and in the best interest of the body corporate. So it protects committee members from being personally sued, for example, if a body corporate makes a bad decision or something happens in a complex. The body corporate is a legal entity in its own right. So like a company, a body corporate is a thing that you can sue, but that section of the Act protects committee members from being sued personally. The body corporate also should hold office bearers liability insurance. I believe nearly all of our clients do hold it. So if you're on this webinar, you should be reasonably confident you have it. But if you look at an AGM notice, it should have an office bearer's liability. It's usually about $100,000 of cover. And that's to protect committee members and the body corporate committee and the body corporate as an entity if it is sued by somebody who obviously doesn't like something that it did. The body corporate committee members are legally liable for the work that they do. And I think that's important because most committee members are owners in the building. If the body corporate gets sued by, let's say a contractor or something happens in the complex and the body corporate's on the receiving end of a lawsuit, it will have to pay to defend itself. If it loses the case and has to pay damages to somebody or compensation, that comes from owners' funds. So committee members are not necessarily more legally liable than all the other owners, but if you're a key decision maker, it is up to you to think about the question carefully. Don't do a tick and flick answer. So if you're asked a question, you should think about it and have some thought process around the scale of people you're representing. So if you're in a larger complex, you're making decisions that affect, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 people. And so there should be an element of thoughtfulness that comes in there. When BCsystems is involved in work, if we see the committee members verging out of the reasonableness lane into potentially unreasonable or into an area where we're concerned that there could be a negligence claim by somebody else, we will tell the committee that as a group. It's often rare that, it's rare that committee members, as a group of committee members, would be all negligent or all making unethical decisions. If someone hasn't thought about something carefully enough and gives an answer too quickly, often the other committee members will sort of say, oh, well, have you thought about X, Y, Z, and sort of bring everybody gradually onto the same page just through that group decision-making process, which works pretty well. I haven't seen any committee members be personally sued in the last 10 years. I think most people who are dealing with a body corporate in a legal sense would know that it is in fact the person or the thing that you should sue if you're trying to get money. So people who do have like slip and fall accidents on common property, for example, would typically sue the body corporate, and that turns into a public liability claim. That type of thing's quite common, but committee members being individually targeted for liability based on decisions they made or votes that they cast, I think that's very rare, in that I haven't seen it in the last 10 years. And I don't think we would have seen that type of thing in our business in 30 years.